So on the right, we get to see the latest and greatest flagship phone, and is the most expensive phone that the Samsung has to offer in the Canada. And on the left, we get to see the budget phone, and it's the only budget phone at this price by Samsung that you can get in Canada. So it's the lowest price phone by Samsung for Canada, that to be precise. So we'll be just doing the speed test comparison of this one. The Galaxy A16 is almost 10 times cheaper than the Z Fold 6 in Canada. It's kind of a fraction of the price that the Z Fold 6 has to offer, but we'll just see how much difference is it. Obviously, it's not that much bad, like it's not that much 10 times slower, or you can say 10 times bad in terms of the usage when it comes to the A16 from Z Fold 6. So we'll be just doing the speed test. So we just first do the boot up test. So 1, 2, 3, and go. We can immediately see like the brightness level on the Z Fold 6 is obviously higher than what we get to see on the Samsung Galaxy A16. And the boot up screen was faster on the Z Fold 6. So now the problem that I've been facing on the A16 is that the One UI 6.1 is quite heavy for this processor and for this phone, with just 4 gigs of RAM on this one, due to which it just becomes very slow, and it is very laggy kind of phone when you throw some apps on this one, or if you're just trying to do the multitasking on the A16. Is the reason that the One UI shouldn't be on this phone. Samsung has to design something lighter and less bloated with apps that would just work perfectly fine on the A16. So we'll just go ahead and unlock these both phones. Alright, so we have just unlocked the phone. We'll just try to keep the brightness at peak for both phones to have a better idea. You can see immediately like there is so much lag on the Galaxy A16 even when it started up. So we just go ahead and just see the smoothness on this one. Obviously the A16 is a little bit smoother, but the Z Fold 6 is much more smoother. Obviously it's a 120Hz display with better processor, and yeah, but it's not you can say like 10 times worse than what the Z Fold 6 has to offer, so it's still worth it. Software wise, there are capabilities like if you open the app, so we can just see that the software wise these are pretty much similar. Like these ones has to offer like a split screen on both of these, and you can see like obviously it's the A16 is lagging a little bit and finding and struggling a little bit more than the Z Fold 6. And if we click on these 3 dots, okay, we need to have open one app, so might be the Amazon you can open here, and also here we can open Amazon, and we can see obviously the Z Fold 6 was much faster than the A16. If we click on the three dots, we can just swipe apps up and down. On the Z Fold 6, we can do same as well. The smoothness on the Z Fold 6 is obviously much more nicer, but it depends upon the person. If you're just willing to spend 10 times more than what you has to pay for the Galaxy A16. Obviously, there are phones which are like in between the Z Fold 6. That will be the S series. Even the S24 will be. You can just get that one, and that will just do the job much better than the A16, because that's a flagship phone. So obviously that would be just much more better than the A16 and would be comparable to the Z Fold 6. So yeah, we just go ahead and just run some tests on this one, speed test. So first we'll try to launch the InShot. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the touch has been like very much different in both phones. Like the A16 just takes time to even register the tap once you're just touching the screen. So obviously the screen response time is not that great in terms when it's compared to the Z Fold 6. So Z Fold 6 won this one. We just try to open the App Store on both. 1, 2, 3, go. So you can see like it takes a little bit time to register the tab. However, the Z Fold 6 was the first one to open. A16 was quicker as well. And then now we'll open the calendar. So Z Fold 6 obviously. Then we'll do the speed test. Z Fold 6 for the first one. We just go ahead and run the test. So both devices are being connected to the same network, and yeah. Alright, so A16 performed better in this one and completed the test first. Then we'll open the calculator. So Z Fold 6 was the first one to open, and now we just open the camera of both. I'll just try to run this one again. So yeah, so slightly faster on the Z Fold 6. Now we'll open the Xperia. So it was faster on the Z Fold 6. So I'm just opening up and trying the apps which mostly people use on a day-to-day basis. So these are the lighter apps, so you would have an idea. Now we'll open the Light Cut. Alright, so Z Fold 6 was the first one to open, and we just opened the Subway Surf on this one, which is kind of a casual game, so you would have a better idea on this one, like which one performs better. So Z Fold 6 was the first one to open. We'll just go ahead and play this one. I'm finding no lag on this one. This is a casual game that most of the people play on the go kind of game, and we just test this one out. Alright, so there's no lag kind of that you can find on this one, and then we just go ahead and just open the Asphalt Legends Unite. obviously. So Z46 was the first one to open this one. And we just go ahead and just play a little bit of the game on this one, so we'll know how this one performs. I don't know, something happened. Anyways, the gameplay was smooth on this one, and we'll now try this one. Oh, okay. I think we cannot play like on the same ID on two phones, so we just go ahead and just play on the A16 now, and we just see how this one performs. So the gameplay is not that bad. The graphics, I can see like it's a little bit pixelated on the what you call on the A16. I'm not sure you guys can notice that one on camera, but it is yeah. So with lower graphics, you can just play a smooth gameplay on this one. So yeah, it feels so you have to just compromise on the graphics while playing on this one. So we just go ahead and just launch the CSR Racing 2. Alright, so yeah, it was faster on the Z Fold 6. So now we'll open the Real Racing 3. So Z Fold 6 was the first one to open this. And now we'll be just running the Template Run 2. So obviously it was faster on the Z Fold 6. We can just go ahead and play a little bit, so we just know how the experience feels like on both of the phone. The graphics also feel a little bit better on the Z Fold 6. So we'll now play on the A16. All right. So it feels pretty nice on both phones. Like I don't find any kind of lag on both phones while playing this game. However, the A16 is a little bit laggy when it comes to some heavy graphic intensive tasks. Now we just run the modern combat. Wow, this was like close for both of these phones. Like so Z Fold 6 open, but yeah, the A16 performed really well as well. I'll be just doing the separate gaming test on the Galaxy A16. Now we'll be just running the benchmark test, which is a Geekbench 6 test, and we'll just see which one performs better. So we'll just first run the CPU benchmark test. Alright, so Z46 has completed the test with a single core score of 1729 and multi-core score of 6230. We're still waiting on the A16 for the completion of the test. And one thing I would just like to talk about these both phones is that the battery life on the A16 is significantly better than what you get to see on the Z Fold 6 because of the reason like the screen itself on the A16 is lower resolution, and the battery is bigger, which is 5000 mAh, so that might just give this one a little bit edge in terms of the when it comes to if you are a heavy user, so you might just able to just get it throughout the day rather than being with the Z Fold 6 that would just end up in the before the end of the day, and you might need to charge in between. So the test has been completed on the A16 as well, and we can see the score of 936 in the single core score, and the multi-core score on this one is 1890 on the what you call on the A16. So there is a significant difference that you can see on these both phones, and we just go ahead and just run the CPU benchmark test, and we just see how this one performs on both of these phones. So here we can see the GPU test has been completed by the Z Fold 6, and the score is over here is 10,882 GPU OpenCL score, and we'll just wait ahead for the A16 to finish the GPU test. Alright, so A16 has also completed the test with the GPU score of 1287. So in between I just closed my camera because the video was just getting too longer, so just to cut down, because A16 was taking so much time in terms of the completing this test. So the question arises now, like is Z Fold 6 10 times faster? Like seeing these scores, you can see like obviously it's around 10 times faster than what you get to see on the scores. So Z Fold 6 shows like it is 10 times faster, and it is 10 times more pricey with the results of the GPU if you consider. But if we talk about like day-to-day usage, so obviously the A16 is not that slow, but it is very much slow in terms of it's laggy. The screen is very great on this phone with terms to the pricing, but sometimes it just gets annoying when it comes to just launching apps and registering your tabs. So I would say just to go ahead, if you want to buy a 16, so just step up a little bit and go and look for the A25 or either A35. I would just recommend A35 being a better choice. So that would just little bit future proof, I would say, would be when it's compared to A25 and the A16 range. So yeah, that would be my suggestion. Obviously these two devices are completely different in terms of the form factor and the in terms of their performance. Obviously Z Fold 6 is a flagship and it's like above flagship. I would say it's a foldable device. It's so much expensive, and this one is just like the A16 is just like a budget phone right now. So in my opinion, like it was just the test I did to compare like if the Z Fold 6 is 10 times faster than the A16. So according to the Geekbench 6 results, it is somehow 10 times faster, but in the real term performance, I wouldn't say like a day-to-day operations, I wouldn't say like it's the A16 is 10 times slower than the Z Fold 6. Because tests are sometimes like obviously those are the Geekbench 6 type of tests, a little bit intensive, and you might not be just running every time intensive task on your phone. So yeah, that's my review. If you just guys have any questions, you can just let me know down in the comments, and obviously the Z Fold 6 is the winner in this case. And yeah, so thank you for watching again, and please like, share and subscribe. If you have any questions, you can just let me know down in the comments, and I'll just try to answer those. And have a good day. Bye.